So it's nice to have a tropical greenhouse to be in gardening. Right? This whole business of stream of conscious gardening that we talk about in the book. That all winter long there's something to do. So we have 4 different ways of heating the greenhouse. And one is the pellet stove, the thermal mass to heat it on its own. The climate batteries would be another one, and then the final one would be the wood burning sun. So today we did some planting yesterday. Today we're going to do coppicing and more planting. And so let's go over here and show some people what we're going to be doing. So this is an agroforestry tree called leucaena, and we're going to cut some of this back. We did this during one of our workshops a few weeks ago, and we did this side over here. Now we're going to do this side over here to open up more canopy, and also just to give the timber, give the papaya some more light,
Jerome?
and also give the rabbits something to eat and to gnaw on. So we're going to just cut it back about what I just did all the way around, and that's also going to release the nitrogen in the root system here. I hope no one's that. So the other thing that's crawling up here is a lab bean. This is rooted down here, but it's actually going up the papaya that's in the corner over here, and it's choking it out. So we're going to go up here and cut that off and pull it down. This is almost like a velvet bean, where this thing is choking the, give me those smaller clippers. This one seems to be the ones I think are laying on the ground there.
There.
Yeah. So this one can be cut here. There. And this one's not quite ripe, but we'll ripen that in the kitchen. Those will fall off on the mulch when they're ripe, and they make great smoothies. So we're going to unwind this thing, cut it back here. This part here, we're just going to chop up and leave it. The leaves can go to the rabbits, but we have plenty of other leaves. So just leave that here as mulch. It's chop and drop. All the way back up into there, we're going to pull this back, okay? Carefully, so we don't knock everything over. And put this in a garbage bag and then feed it to the rabbits. Also, there's a passion fruit up here that we don't want to cut back, so we want to kind of just carefully get up in here, and all this leucaena will be cut back to open up the canopy for that papaya. So you can either get up here with the long clippers, or use these right here. See? You can cut it back like this. Some seeds to be saved, so we might want to go and get a paper bag and collect the leucaena seeds, because we can take these seeds down to the tropics, or not that we're going to plant any more of these, but this is a sustainable harvest. There's actually some medicinal qualities to these seeds. You have to be careful because they're wanting to open up, and they'll just spill out. So you really need to get them right in there so they don't fall out. So this is a maybe K57 or something like that. It's a hybrid leucaena that I got from Echo. And I've been growing this for 6 years here. harvesting lots of seed,
How often do you
lots
coppice?
of fodder. This has been coppiced about 3 times a year.
Okay.
So take it out, and so somebody could gather seeds, somebody could start cutting this out and clearing out. See this papaya here? You want to get all this stuff out of here, all the lab that's crawling up in here. So what you do is you cut it back to about this level again. This is all going all the way up there, so we can cut this and pull it down. But we'll keep it at about this level, and then it'll grow out again. So it's a sort of a regenerative system. This is always growing back, always coming back. And I like to manage my lab the same way. Because we save a lot of the seed from this. This is actually a good bean to eat. You could actually have some lab soup. And so we're going to keep it here kind of down. You've got to make sure it doesn't girdle the tree. In fact, you've got to loosen it up. When we're done with this, loosen it up. Maybe move it over to here or move it onto its own trellis, because it will girdle the tree. So we'll go over and cut down a banana now that has harvested, or we just fruited, took the banana off. So we're going to cut down the stalk and make that into a planter. So let's go way over on the west side of the greenhouse. We harvested this banana stalk. So this is ready to come out. We might harvest a couple more in here as well, just to thin out these things. But these leaves here will be taken off first and put in as rabbit food.
Wow. That's some fur.
And once the plant is fruited, it won't fruit again, so it's time to move it out to the next largest banana in the clump here will fruit. This is a renewable resource in the sense that we have all this mulch, fodder, rabbit food, and we're going to do something different. This time we're going to do something different to the stock. But that's a couple of days, 3 days of rabbit food. Now this one we'll cut back at the base, take it out, and then we're going to drill some holes in it and lay it out somewhere where there's some sunlight, and then plant some lettuces and kale in it. As it decomposes, we're going to use it as a planter like we do those PVC pipes. Just something different to do with it. Otherwise we would chop it up and just put it around the mother plant and go back in as fertilizer. We'll just do something different this time, so we have some options. So somebody can be hitting a bow saw and saw it right down at the base here, and then we'll take it out here somewhere and we'll drill the holes on it. So there'll be a couple of people doing that. That's good enough.
Nice.
Some of the residues that we cut from that one stalk will go back as mulch around the banana plant to go back into the potassium that the banana needs. And so it doesn't hurt to saw it up a little bit so that it breaks down faster. But it wouldn't hurt to clean this up. And all of this can go down as mulch. And do we have any rabbit manure that we could maybe put on top of this? That'll just speed up the breakdown process. Make sure that this clump of bananas is getting what it needs, so it'll push out a big stock of bananas the next time around. It's somewhat deficient in nutrients right now because the stock was only about half the size that we usually get. So that's an indication that we maybe need to amp up and do something a little different. Again, then we'll go show you what we're going to do with the larger banana. We're going to drill some holes in it and plant some salad greens and stuff, and it was something I saw in Ghana. That's exactly what we want. So we're going to be chiseling that out and putting in some potting soil and then putting in some lettuces and kales in there and growing them out for our winter salad greens. So just another medium, another rack similar to our PVC pipe that where you can grow additional things in. You know, this stuff will go back around to the banana plant. You know, it gets this out a little deeper. Maybe we'll even go deeper once we get the first course out here. Yeah, this works beautifully. We don't want to go down too far or we'll break the integrity of this thing, okay?
Yeah.
Turn on the climate battery and the circulation fans to charge the underground heating and cooling system, and also just circulate the hot air from the higher parts of the greenhouse back down in, so the two work in tandem to charge the soil all day long. We're going to be using that in combination with the pellet stove tonight to keep the greenhouse at 55. So generally speaking, we would train this from the beginning, this lab, around some trellis that's independent of papayas and other nitrogen-fixing trees because it tends to girdle it. And that will give us a year or two of a good coppice material. And let's see if we can put two of those together. And move over that. Get these two higher up in there. And that would be something like that. We would do something like this. Tie that off there, and it's fairly stable. And then we have a way of managing this nitrogen fixing vine so that when we coppice it, it fixes nitrogen for this papaya here. It doesn't, Bucaena doesn't need it. And it fixes it for the passion fruit over there and anything else around here that's and then we get continuous harvests of fodder for the rabbits and also beans to eat in the kitchen. So rather than the traditional agroforestry model where you plant a lot of these in rows or in cover crops, we don't have room to plant a lot of them, but we're going to maximize the space we have and utilize this as much as we can. Because every couple of months you could coppice, a whole garbage can full of this and more as well, mulch or for fodder. So you can you can go ahead and lace this back up into here. And if you need to, you could tie this off of here with a piece of twine to stabilize it. You just snap it and pitch through here. Let's just keep it away from the papaya. And then I'll need to cut some more of that vagina away. So you can free up this papaya so it gets into sunlight again and it starts fruiting better. But it's been overcrowded by all of the, if you get her some twine. So we've routed out the banana stalk that we could have just chopped up and used as chop and drop, but we're going to use it one more time as a planter, similar to what we are using over here with the PVC pipe, growing assorted vegetables and herbs and stuff. So we're putting some potting soil in here, and we already have some spinach that's grown out ready for transplanting. So it's really important to get a lot of this stuff transplanted and planted out into flats early, like in September, so it's already ready to plant into something like this or into the garden beds.